Hey everyone, welcome to another What's New in Dynatrace episode. Here's what we're going to cover today. First, how to A/B test your AI models and monitor the results with Dynatrace. Next up, news of reference implementation and instrumentation patterns for MCP, AWS Bedrock Agent Core, AWS Strands, Google Agent Developer Kit, and OpenAI's Agent SDK. Next, we'll talk about how Dynatrace can help you to comply with AI regulations like the EU's new Artificial Intelligence Act using AWS Event Bridge and OpenTelemetry. Then I'll touch on how you can enrich your security data from tools like Sneak, SonarQube, AWS Guardrails, and others with that runtime contextual information that you can get from Dynatrace, so you can have both together. Next, the ability to enrich your telemetry using pre-formatted data lookup tables like CSV and JSON in Dynatrace. And finally, troubleshooting guides and how they are automatically attached to problems. Now, as always, all of the links to everything I discuss can be found in the video description below. Okay, on with the show. Here's what's new in Dynatrace. By now, I'm sure we all understand that AI models behave differently, some being better than others for any given use case. And so obviously it's becoming more important to A/B test your models against one another for your particular use case to find out which one is best. Now, Dynatrace provides that observability data that you need from that testing so that you can make those data-driven decisions about which model is best for you. Getting this all working in Dynatrace is a three-step process. First, take a look at our pre-built dashboard in the Playground demo environment to get a feel for how this is going to look with your data when you start. When it's time to add your data, make sure you enrich your OpenTelemetry data with the key metadata like the model version, the provider, the dataset ID, any other metadata or feature flag information that you might have. This is important because this metadata becomes variables that you can filter and split the data by when it lands inside Dynatrace. Next, you don't want the Dynatrace dashboards to be statically linked to certain models, of course, because that would mean that every time you test a new model, you need to update the dashboard, and that's a lot of work. So instead, what you can do is use DQL to extract the model names and other values at runtime dynamically and use those values as dashboard variables. And now, when you test a new model or a new provider, your dashboard is automatically going to know about it. And you can do the same for any variable, of course, in your telemetry. So if you want to start and test this out, head on over to the Dynatrace Playground and interact with the AI observability dashboard. And that is powered by live data running 24/7. When you're ready to do it yourself, you can actually download that dashboard JSON file, the definition of that dashboard, from the Playground environment and then upload it to your environment. Now, the dashboard itself shows a left and right split, so you can easily compare key performance indicators across two models. And it's also easy to duplicate the sections to do multivariate testing of models if you want to. If you're building AI agents with AWS, things like Bedrock Agent Core or Strands, or Google's Agent Development Kit and or OpenAI's Agent SDK, or your agents communicate through the MCP protocol as a tool calling protocol, then I've got some good news. We have reference instrumentation code examples for all of these available on GitHub. Again, just follow the link in the video description below to get access to those. Now, with the emergence of AI regulations such as the EU's Artificial Intelligence Act and others around the world, AI providers are now potentially falling under legal obligations to ensure their AI training and usage meets certain requirements. Dynatrace can be used to help and achieve this. Dynatrace can store data for up to 10 years if you've seen any of my other content. So first of all, create a new data bucket to store the incoming data for however long you wish. In this case, for 5 years. Next, create an open pipeline rule to route that incoming data to your new buckets. And if you don't know how to do that, I'll link to a video above that shows you how to do this. Finally, leverage AWS Event Bridge. Now, Event Bridge emits events, as the name suggests, for every configuration action such as the deployment of a new model or when fine-tuning finishes. Don't forget to also enrich your AI applications with the OpenTelemetry-based OpenLLMetry to get a complete picture of your AI landscape. Obviously, it's not only training, but real-time usage via logs, metrics, and traces. That's also important. So with this, you can get a full end-to-end picture of your AI landscape. Whether via OneAgent or OpenTelemetry, Dynatrace already knows the full context of your runtime environment, but there are processes like building containers, where additional critical metadata, especially security data, is being generated. And therefore, it makes sense to also send that data into Dynatrace from your security tooling. Now, when you do so, Dynatrace is automatically going to match the security event data to the relevant entities as long as they're available in Dynatrace. Runtime context helps DevSecOps teams to better prioritize security, to focus the teams on what has a real production impact. Dynatrace supports a large range of providers and tools, such as the OCSF findings, Amazon ECR, AWS Security Hub, and GuardDuty. Tenable, Sneak, Harbor, Microsoft Defender for Cloud, Microsoft Sentinel, GitHub Advanced Security, SonarQube, and more. Now, to do this, you can get started by heading to the Dynatrace Hub and following the instructions for your specific tool or provider. When we think about organizational information, there's a huge amount of this information that usually resides and lives outside of and separate to the application telemetry coming from your VMs or your pods. Imagine a list of known bad IP addresses, team or ownership information, escalation, policies, customer loyalty tiers, and so on and so forth. You now have the capability to load this data into Dynatrace and perform lookups on this data to correlate the incoming telemetry with this previously external data. So for example, when a log line contains tier 1 organization, you know that means gold level support. So now you can ingest an external data file from something like CSV or JSON and map that tier 1 to gold to make it easier to route problems and fix issues faster. As I've mentioned, you can upload lookup data in various formats, either via the UI, the API, or workflows. And if you're building Dynatrace apps, you can actually bundle lookup data with your app, and then it becomes pre-installed with your app. Again, check out the links in the video description. There's a link to a customer video, and this customer is already using lookup tables, and all of the links to the relevant documentation is also provided, of course. When a problem occurs, Dynatrace groups all of those related events, as I'm sure you're aware, into a single problem, complete with the root cause, the impacted entities, and any other key details. You don't get hundreds of alerts, you get that one problem record. But what happens on the human side after that incident is resolved? Usually we do a post-incident investigation and we bring together all sorts of organizational knowledge, indicators, and other insights to create a troubleshooting guide. And now Dynatrace makes capturing and reusing this knowledge easier than ever. So when you're in a problem, you can create a new notebook or a dashboard from that problem, and then Dynatrace automatically puts together the manual notes that you've got and the automated notes from its problem, and it's all there in a single place. And here's the best part. If a similar problem occurs again, Dynatrace will automatically attach this guide to the new problem, saving you time, effort, and headaches in the future. And there you have it. That's what's new in Dynatrace. Enjoy the new features, and I'll see you again very soon for more.